The Western Bantus.
All right, Luanda. I would like to start with discussing the Western Bantu. Can you tell me the main groups at least?
All right. They all begin with Aba. I know this because it helps me remember them. Here it goes. Abaluyia, Abagusii, Abakuria, and Abasuba.
Very impressive. Good job. And now I will discuss each one briefly, trying to hit the main events and helping you to learn about each one of them with a chart and a timeline provided, free of charge from the museum, although we do take donations.
Oh, geez, thank you. Abaluyia is the largest, right?
That is correct. Abaluyia is the largest group, as you have said, but as a result, has a complex history due to the many ethnic interactions. Their most traceable ancestors are believed to have come from the eastern Uganda around 1300 AD.
Wait, didn't the early Bantus enter Kenya around the 1st century?
Good recall, Luanda. It was about some time after that indeed. However, the large numbers started appearing around the 16th to 18th century. Over the next 100 years, a lot of different subgroups came to be as the incoming people dispersed from around Mount Elgon and joined or took over other communities.
So they can be said that they first settled around Mount Elgon and from there moved and created all the subgroups.
Yes. And they also had some interactions with groups such as the Maasai, Kalenjin, and the Luo.
What do you mean? Like similar to the effects of the Bantu movements we discussed?
Yes. Such as learning cattle practices and the age set system from the KCSE. Now, as the Abaluyia moved southeast and interacted with the Maasai, forming the Daho, Bunyore, and Kisa, for example.
When did this happen? It can't be that long ago.
This was between the 16th and the end of the 18th century when Uasin Gishu were hired for their military work from the Wanga ruling class. It seems you're becoming more interested, Luanda.
Well, I am here, so might as well get something out of it. What about us Luos?
Oh, as the Abaluyia moved towards Lake Victoria, they shared living spaces around Bunyala, Samia, and Busoga with the Luo. This led to a cultural exchange such as speaking and even the Luo removal of the 6 lower teeth.
Wow, that is a lot of ways they interacted with the people of Africa. So, did the other Western Bantu groups come from Mount Elgon as well, since they are part of the same group? Like the Abagusii?
Yes. Now, the groups did mostly come from Mount Elgon. I want you to understand that. Now, the Abagusii moved south following the river Nzoia and settled around the eastern shores of Lake Victoria, Yimbo to be exact. You will find it common for people's movements to be around water.
I have noticed that. But they aren't on Yimbo Sasa Hivi. So what happened?
The Luos pushed them, Luanda. There were a few other factors, such as too many people, natural disasters, such as flooding and diseases, and fighting that kept them moving.
So they lived here in Kisumu City for a while?
Wasn't a city back then, but yes, they lived around Kisumu. They kept on going east until they met the Kipsigis, forcing them to stop at the Kano Plains where they began cultivating crops.
But aren't they in the Gusii Highlands now?
That is correct. They lived around the plains for a while until the late 18th century, where they were pushed again by the Maasai, Kipsigis, and the incoming Luo to their current spot.
And there was interaction between the groups, as discussed in the effects then, right?
Yes. Intermarriage and trade of culture and goods was common when not fighting.
The fighting occurred between tribes as well? right? Not only between the larger groups like Bantus and Kushites.
Yes, and as we discussed, that is a push factor for some tribes to be, especially Bantus who crowded Mount Elgon. The Abakuria are thought to be from Missouri, according to their oral tradition, moved around the mountain as well.
But I remember that not all Kuria clans are from around the mountain.
You might take my job one day, young man. That is very true. Some clans came from northern Tanzania, like the Wairegi, the Wasimbete, and Watoboro, who migrated from Yimbo. Between the 17th and the 19th century, the clans organized themselves into the Abakuria we know today, living in southern Kenya in Mara regions of Tanzania.
Wow, that is a lot of information. I really better study these charts to get down to groups and movements.
Yes, and in time you will be a master Kenyan. Now, one last Western group I would like to discuss is the Abasuba.
They live near here, don't they? Like near Lake Victoria?
Yes, they live on the Lake Victoria Islands of Fangano and Rusinga. They fled here from the neighboring kingdom of Buganda in Uganda during the 1700s after years of persecution.
I heard the Luo have influenced them greatly since they are a smaller group and live neighboring the Luo communities.
That is correct, and it is very difficult to find a pure speaker of their language since Luo is their main language. Now, that takes care of the major Western groups. Can you tell me the groups again?
Yes. There is the Abaluyia, which makes the largest group, Abagusii, which is currently in Gusii Highlands, Abakuria, which originally came from Missouri, and Abasuba, who live on the Lake Victoria Islands and are a small group.
Yes, that is a very good memory. I feel we can move on to the Eastern Bantu.
How many groups are there?
Well, the Eastern Bantu are actually split into two groups, Coastal and Central Highland.
Split again? Wow, this is a lot of info.
Yes, this is why the charts will help you when you go home. Let us move to the east side of the museum where the history is focused on it. Follow me.
All right.